Hello and welcome to a very special NME Albums Club. Special because for the first time ever...
We're in a van.
We're not just in a van, Jordan.
Oh, no, it's not just that.
We are coming to you from End of the Road Festival in Dorset or Wiltshire? It's on the Dorset-Wiltshire border, isn't it?
We're in a van.
We're in the countryside and Jordan's very excited because we're also in a delightful van which I've christened Van Morrison.
Oh, that's good.
It's good. I hadn't told you that yet, had I?
No, this is the first time I've seen the van. I wasn't...
Van Morrison.
No, I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
So, Albums Club. We are here in the van at End of the Road Festival, and we're just going to be doing Albums Club as usual, but with extra added vibes. 3 albums, 2 albums that have come out. Well, one came out last Friday, one comes out today.
Who's counting?
And one came out 30 years ago.
So long ago.
Yesterday.
Is that album older or younger than this van?
I think younger, significantly younger.
Significantly
this
younger,
van is from Victorian times.
Yeah.
It's lovely. So the first album, Jordan, you are a big fan of this first album, aren't you?
Huge fan.
What is it?
It is American Dream by LCD Soundsystem.
American Dream, the 4th LCD Soundsystem album. Why is it so amazing, Jordan?
Well, it's quite controversial, isn't it?
Tell me why.
It's controversial. People are upset that they're back. Even though they're really good and everyone loves them, people are upset that they're back.
Aren't people upset because they also said they only broke up so they could sell more tickets recently? Because they broke up in 2011 after 3 exceptional dance, punk, pop, electro, synth-tastic gasm albums.
Yeah, James Murphy and pals. A little bit of backstory. They announced in 2011 that they were going to kind of split, bow out, go out on a high. With their 3rd album, This Is Happening, play a huge, incendiary, legendary show at Madison Square Garden.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
I wasn't either, but it looked really good.
Yeah.
There's that great picture of Aziz Ansari crowd surfing.
Really?
At the gig, yeah. Look it up, guys.
I was mainly living in Leicester listening to the 3rd LCD
Being in
Soundsystem.
Kasabian.
Yeah. Well, I tried.
Those are the days.
No, they wouldn't have it. But yeah, so they announced that they were going and they were a band that meant such a lot to people. Really kind of like era defining, really defined that New York scene at that time. So the fact that they went out high, it was kind of bittersweet because it was sad to see them go. But on the other hand, they never got lame. So that's good.
They never jumped the shark, did they?
They never jumped the shark.
But then...
2015.
January 2016.
Really?
18 months ago, 19 months ago, possibly.
Splitting hairs there. Been a bit pedantic there.
Being accurate.
Pedantic.
Accurate, okay.
James Murphy announced we're coming back, and people were kind of upset about it. People felt a little bit ripped off about it. And he kind of went on to pen this lengthy Facebook post saying, he never saw that coming, which is amazing considering that his song lyrics are so beautiful and emotionally intelligent and tuned into people's feelings.
He's a wise man, isn't he? Very wise, James Murphy.
To have not seen that coming, I'm surprised.
But he did also say that we're only going to come back if it's amazing.
I mean, it is amazing.
And that's what's so great about this record. It is genuinely amazing. We've had it on in the office for ages. I actually went to an album launch party for it a few months ago, like a listening party.
What was my invite?
It was really good. Jarvis Cocker was there. And Jude Law from films.
Really?
Yeah, and Wim Butler from Arcade Fires.
So many handsome men.
I know, right? It was really nice. I had a lovely time.
So many handsome men in one room. It seems weird
and Jordan wasn't there.
It seems weird that my invitation was lost, but anyway, move on.
So anyway, I went to this listening party, but because everyone was speaking so loudly, I couldn't really hear the album, but we had sushi and it was great.
Good story, bro.
Thank you. But then I did get to hear the album properly in the office.
It's a fucking
phenomenal.
banger.
It's so good.
The only difficulty I had with this album is that I couldn't get past the first track, Oh Baby, which might be the single best thing I've ever had in my ear holes at any given time.
Blimey, and you've had a lot in your ear holes.
So many things in these ear holes. These bad boys. Woohoo!
They've seen some
things. I can tell you some stories.
Is that your favourite song on the album, Mike?
Oh my god, it's like my favourite song of the year. I think it's unbelievable. It's just really beautiful. How would you describe that song? It's like this. It kind of throbs with regret.
It's a throbby album. It's a very hypnotic, mesmeric album. There's a lot that kind of takes you into this weird trancey state. How Do You Sleep? I think is my favourite.
Yeah.
Just like the big 9-minute long, mad Joy Division.
Yes.
Right, and then that goes into Tonight, which is like this just pulsing tonight, like Studio 54 disco number.
Yeah.
It's
there's
just
some
all
amazing.
It's like you call the police as this euphoric. He talks about moving to Berlin on it, which sort of harks back to the Losing My Edge days when he was the cool guy.
It sounds kind of Bowie-esque as well.
Well, there's loads of Bowie stuff on the album because he was asked to produce Black Star, James Murphy.
I did not know that.
Turned it down, but did some percussion on it, and there's loads of like hidden Bowie references on the album.
Yeah.
Just little clues, just little shout outs.
Police has got a very good song lyric on it.
Sing it.
The old guys are frightened and frightening to behold. He's talking about the state of America. He's talking about politics. He's talking about real shit. But what's so relevant about this album is that it's not this like big like triumphant return. It's sort of quite. There's a lot of like the lyrics deal a lot with like fear and confusion, and it's
the problems being a 47-year-old rich man.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And something else that Jordan understands.
Yeah,
he looks
so
good
relevant
for it
to me.
though, doesn't he?
So relevant to me. But yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing, and like the fact that it sounds good, even though he couldn't have created a more difficult climate in which for him to release an album, right? Like it had to be fucking good, this album, to be able to hold up coming back.
And it was.
And it is.
How many stars out of 5 would you give it?
I'm going 5.
I'm unsurprised that you would give that, but you know what, Jordan? I'm also going to give it 5.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Oh, good. I thought maybe I was going overboard there.
No. I think everyone is in deep, deep agreement. In fact, this is sort of relates to End of the Road Festival. Did you see? Because Father John Misty is headlining tomorrow, and he posted on his Facebook. He just said magnificent about the new record. So the folky guys down here at End of the Road love it too.
Yeah.
The next album that we'll be discussing came out a week ago today. Mm-hmm. It is the latest Queens of the Stone Age album, Villains. So, Villains, the 7th Queens of the Stone Age album. 7,
mad, isn't it?
Well, it's not mad though, considering the first album came out 1998, Queens of the Stone Age, Queens of the Stone Age. And they formed kind of from the ashes of Caius, like stoner rock legends in the kind of early 90s. And they sort of, it was always kind of Josh Homme, correct pronunciation. Homme. It feels weird saying it because everyone says Homme, but...
I'm sticking with Homme.
Okay. We'll just call him Josh then.
Josh.
But formed the band from the kind of the Desert Sessions in the mid-90s. First album came out 1998, sort of a solo project. Really kind of heavy, sort of sexy.
So sexy.
All right. Chill out.
Sorry.
Like this
got a bit carried away
kind
in
of
the back of the van.
It did, yeah. It did encapsulate that mood. If you've ever been out to the desert, is that kind of dry heat, that kind of grinding, yeah.
Reminds me of being in a field in Dorset.
Calm down, we're in Dorset. Don't worry, that'll sort you out. But that was almost 20 years ago. So for it to be their 7th album, doesn't actually seem that strange. The last one, 2013, Like Clockwork, which had loads of amazing guests on it. Like Elton John played piano on that album.
Crazy.
Alex Turner was on that album. Jake Shears was on that album. Dave Grohl was on that album. Like all of Josh's pals.
This is an about turn in that respect.
Indeed, no guests.
No guests. Back to basics.
Sort of one guest, really.
Who could it be? Could it be Parpy Mark Ronson with his parpy horns?
Parping away. With his Uptown Funk.
Actually, he doesn't do much parping in this, if any, really.
He doesn't parp at all. But what Josh wanted, apparently, like one of his kids was listening to Uptown Funk, and he heard it and thought, "Hey, I love that dry, tight sound."
That's amazing. And, I did Uptown Funk in a karaoke bar in China once.
Did you?
Yeah, it was the only time those people in that bar had heard Uptown Funk ever.
Did they? What did they think?
You imagine how badly I sang that song, and everyone was fucking loving it. That's how good that song is, that even I can sing it and people get into it.
I'm gonna, there's karaoke stage here at End of the Road Festival.
I actually didn't know that.
Unlucky, because you're gonna be doing Uptown Funk later.
Oh my God.
So
we've digressed.
We have digressed.
Mark Ronson.
Mark Ronson is producing the album. So Mark Ronson and Josh knew each other before from, various nefarious late night shenanigans, one can only assume.
I'm sure, yeah.
But also Mark asked Josh to play on the Lady Gaga album last year.
Right, yes.
So
he did 4 songs on that?
He did indeed do 4 songs on that. Jordan, very good.
Feels like I might have read your cover feature.
Yeah, if you want to pick up NME today, there is a Quiz of the Stone Age feature.
Leonie interviewed Josh Homme for it.
Because they headlined not headlined, they played both Reading and Leeds last week in one day. No one's ever done it before.
I mean, not that far, is it?
It is if you have to take the train.
They didn't take the train.
No.
They took a chopper.
It did indeed take a chopper. But anyway, so Mark Ronson's on this record.
Right, yeah,
it is a Ronson-esque record because it's like a dancey album.
Yeah, okay,
They fully embraced that sort of hip-swinging, sassy side of themselves, which was always there.
Yeah.
But this album, they're like, okay, guys and girls,
Yeah.
live for the moment. Let's dance, as David Bowie once said.
But it's not like it is pop in the sense that it's like accessible and catchy and stuff, but it's not like a big kind of.
It's not Ed Sheeran.
No, and it's not glossy either.
No, it's still dirty or dirty. Yeah, we know what kind of dirty it is.
Yeah, we all
so
know.
with 3 R's and no I. It's that kind of dirty.
My favourite.
And it's quite a short album. I think there's only about 9 tracks on it as well. But
Yeah, bish bash bosh.
It's Josh.
It's the cover line.
Is the cover line. So yeah, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 because I did in my review in the magazine last week. So yeah, it came out a week ago. It's probably been placed in the charts by now, but we're in a field, so
standout track.
Standout track. Fortress is good. It's moody. Feet Don't Fail Me is also good. The Way You Used to Do is good with the amazing, spectacular video, like a song and dance man. Josh becomes this kind of toe-tapping, like satanic Fred Astaire.
Yeah, that song's great. It's like a mad sort of jazzed up Little Richard track, isn't it?
It's a crazy kind of rockabilly number.
Yeah, modern sort of rockabilly.
How many stars?
4.
Brilliant, 4 stars. Finally, the big one. This is like a really big classic album as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest selling albums of all time.
Yeah.
But not the artist's biggest selling album.
Riddle
me this.
Who could it be?
It's, of course, Michael Jackson with Bad.
It's a classic.
It's so classic. So Michael Jackson's 7th studio album came out 5 years after the seminal Thriller, which is his biggest selling album.
How many did that sell? Do we know? Loads.
100 gazillion jamillion.
Yeah.
And this
so
sold.
She's got written down there.
Sold
anyway.
2 less than that. So this, 5 years after that massive album came out, a lot of pressure on it. It's got 10 tracks on it. 9 of them were singles.
That is crazy.
And they are all really good. Like, even the tracks that were supposed to be the filler tracks, things like Speed Demon and Dirty Diana and Liberian Girl. Well, this is like all killer, one filler.
Right, okay.
The one filler, I Just Can't Stop Loving You.
Was that a single?
No. Or maybe it was. I don't know. You have to ask Michael Jackson's people.
Yeah.
10th best-selling album of all time.
All time?
All time. This is a
Good
huge
Lord.
record. It's got some amazing songs on it. It's got Smooth Criminal on it.
Yeah, I mean...
How good is Smooth Criminal?
Yeah, his version's not as good as Alien Ant Farm's version.
Very good point.
But that's true, actually. That is true. It sounds like I'm trolling, but it's just true.
Is that another song you do at karaoke? Specifically, Alien Ant Farm version.
Yeah. The guy started the Jacko version. I was like, whoa, back up.
Rewind, please. It's also got Man in the Mirror on it, which is
that is such a lovely song.
Very important in Jackson life because that is when he started. He was doing all this kind of funky stuff before, and then he did that, and that's when he started trying to save the world and went all gospel. So that's all about him kind of looking inside himself. He's got that gospel choir on it, and that's when he began. So the album after this was Dangerous, and that had things like Black and White on it and Feed the World, and that's when he became.
But I think Man in the Mirror is just the right side of that. It's not Earth Song.
I mean, it's great.
Is it?
Man in the Mirror is amazing.
Because you hear Earth Song and it's like...
Man in the Mirror is the one that went to #1 after he died as well.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, that's the song that makes you think lovely things about Michael Jackson.
I remember being in a school assembly once and a kid performed on piano Man in the Mirror. I'd not heard it before and didn't know it was Michael Jackson. I thought he'd made it up. And I was like, shit, this kid's got talent. He's going places. This kid's going to get out of Pocklington.
Where is that kid? Did he?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so. Liberian Girl's on this as well, which is that kind of sexy Sade number.
Yeah.
There's some sexy moments on here. The Way You Make Me Feel is on this.
No, that is... Me feel...
So good.
Really turning me on.
Do you know Bad was supposed to be a duet with Prince?
I didn't know that. God, can you imagine if that happened?
But do you know that the video is still 18 minutes long and stars Wesley Snipes and was directed by Martin Scorsese?
No, I didn't know that.
People don't do that anymore, do they?
They
You're not going to
don't.
get Parquet Courts doing that,
No,
are you?
probably not. Probably
I don't know. We'll find them later and ask them.
It's quite a weird album for such a big like pop mainstream album from like one of the biggest artists ever.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of weird. Like it's weirder than you would expect that kind of an album to be.
It's nice though.
Yeah,
nice to be weird, but it's
Yeah.
like really glossy as well. It's got so many different strains of things coming into it as well. There's like the adult orientated rock side of things. There's like guitar solos on there.
Yeah.
And then there's the funk stuff, and then there's the gospel choir. It's very glossy, very slick, and there's Stevie Wonder's on it.
Let's talk about that front cover though. Like, what's going on there?
He's bad. Did you not see how bad
I
he
mean,
is?
yeah.
He's wearing a studded leather jacket.
Yeah, he's like kind of like a street
Ladies.
tough. He's like a street tough.
Yeah, he'll knock you right out.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, the whole thing.
Are you weirded out by Michael Jackson?
not-
It's
well-
the first time that's ever happened.
I like it, and I like how like eccentric he was, and how he managed to make such a bizarre eccentric record that still was packed with hits and was like
Bangers, bangers, bangers,
thing
bangers,
you play at your like
bangers.
wedding. You
The
know?
song with Stevie Wonder on it. We were playing it in the office yesterday, and I would just like to say that my esteemed colleague Alex Flood went, "This sounds like the kind of music Tom Selleck would play in his car."
It's so good.
It
It's
does,
so
doesn't
true.
it? It's
so true.
On his way to like the three men and a little lady
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
The film that sounded weird. Anyway,
Move on.
let's just finish there because we've got a festival to go to, Jordan.
Yeah, man. You got to give Jacko a rating.
Well, it's got Smooth Criminal on it, so 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's got to be 5.
Man in the Mirror,
Yeah.
5 out of 5.
Also, like Alien Ant Farm might not have happened without this album.
Really, really obsessed with that, aren't you? Thank you very much for tuning in to this very special On the Road album club.
Yeah, man.
You did well. We did better, I think, for getting through that.
Yeah, man. And who are you looking forward to seeing at End of the Road, Leonie?
Father John Misty,
Yeah.
Mac DeMarco, Bill Callahan.
Yeah, all of the above.
All of the above. We will see you next week. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Bye.